So let me use an example of a couple that I coached from the husband's perspective, right? The wife has a problematic behavior. She loves to use the handphone during dinner time. So this is deemed as a bad behavior that, our common sense would also agree that, we shouldn't be this way when we are around people that we care for, relationships that we want to build. So nobody bothered with the wife's perspective, right? So what is that behavior really about, using the handphone? So when we give attention to the so-called bad part, don't come from a place of judgment or conclusion, just simply from a place of curiosity. What's really behind this handphone usage? And then it became a very poignant sharing that she actually finds the relationship boring. She's also desiring more from the husband, that she wants to know more about him because he comes from a different culture. And then finally, both sides realize that what they're desiring is both sides of the same coin. So what we see here is there is actually no bad parts. So what we deem as problematic is not about removing it, correcting it, and just discarding it, chucking it aside. So before I step into this big interesting world of coaching and human beings, I would take the very linear path of problem solving, right? It's just, okay, problem means deal with it, get rid of it. Now, when I hear problems, I'm really excited about it because problem is actually the key to solutions. Since I was a kid, right, I love to play with the idea of different perspective and my perception of things. Imagine we are sitting in a car. Of course, the car will whiz by, the world will whiz by as well. But I also love to play with the perspective that maybe the car is the one that's still, and the world is the one that is whizzing by at high speed. So with this curiosity, it's not a surprise that I consider research and being a scientist as a career. And I got so bored in my first 2 years, but I did not know why. And so when I finally didn't know what to do with myself, my career, so that's when I waved my white flag. Okay, I need help. And coaching was something that I encountered. And it totally opened up a whole new world of how I understand myself to be. With that, identity that I had, I have actually cut off one huge chunk of possibilities that I could have access to. So this actually boils down to how the mind works. We need contrast in order to think. So for example, we need tall in order to understand short, far and near, introvert versus extrovert. From the era that I was in, nobody really knew how to appreciate introversion, right? So the extroversion is seen as valuable traits, is how we should all strive to be, right? Like public speaking, being able to network well, interact with people, have great relationships. Introversion, on the other hand, is like maybe, from out there, we look like we're very quiet, you're not well spoken, you don't stand out, you do not know how to present yourself. So there's a tendency to quickly assess things according to good, bad, we like it or not. So because of this, we tend to lose one huge chunk of information because we don't necessarily pursue it. So when I'm free from my own dichotomous thinking about myself, right, that I'm free from what I assume being an introverted is, it gave me the space to really appreciate traits or values that I actually have that is hidden by this label. What I really get to know about myself is I also want to connect with people, but in a very different way. It's a very deep, quiet way that I'm really sitting with the person, and the quietness is I'm really seeing and hearing who the other person is. And I think that this desire to be seen and heard is a very common basic human need. So this is the invitation and opportunity here to have a curiosity and wonderment about yourself, to want to discover what lies beneath the labels that the world has contained you in, and even how you have identified yourself as. So this is when you can begin to access the whole big world of possibilities about who you can be and who you really are. That you have a coach to support you in this very profound personal journey of self-discovery, that you can find and build a life that is in full alignment to who you are, that you find joy in.